Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for dropping in. Welcome to Niger Matters. So, as you all know, there are things that will be happening in Nigeria as far as the politics is concerned. But most people seem to be carried away, either because of this other side of the divide in which they are, but something that you don't or they don't want to take into cognizance is that wherever divide that you find yourself in, it's none of your fault. So it's none of your fault at all. Neither is it the fault of the Jacobandism or Jacobinism or the fault of the obedience. So political parties are supposed to be a vehicle to obtaining power and therefore bring development to the people of that land. So that's what it's supposed to stand for. It doesn't really matter whether you have an ego on your own political party or you have a cock or a tiger. So what matters is the delivery of that development and bringing the government closer to the people. That's what it's supposed to mean. So it's not supposed to mean that because you speak another language or because you belong to a certain political party that we have to be killing ourselves. No. So because as you know, a lot of people today who said or who claim to be occupying some positions in that country, they know that they are thieves, that they were not actually voted for, or that that position that they are occupying does not belong to them. So they know it. But as you all know, Nigeria is not an ordinary country or a normal country, I would say, because in a normal climate, under very normal circumstances, when things like that happen, then there are ways, to deal with it, and they deal with it very civilizedly, and at the end of the day, you get to the bottom of everything. So, but in Nigeria, sometimes what they do, they use all means necessary, to try to retain that power because power is sweet. So once they taste it, they don't want to leave it. And that's why you see a politician in Nigeria. First, they were local government chairman, and later they became party chairman, and later they became something within the state commissioner, and later they become, you know, advisor to the governor, and maybe even what do you call it, a minister that was appointed by the governor to represent the state at the federal level. Then later they become governors themselves. You see? So power is sweet. So why they claim to represent the interests of the people, in some cases it might be so to a certain degree, but in most cases they are actually representing themselves because they don't have any other job to do and they have no idea on what business is to do or to set up with the little money that they've stolen, from the local council to the state, to the state and to the federal and back to the state. So that is why when they are about to leave they are about to leave power, then they find it very difficult, to give power back to the people that give them the power, Rather, they rather give the power back to an individual that they can hold, that they can hold on their neck to do their biddings. So that is what has been happening in the country so far. So, but I think that some of these things that are happening, actually, we encourage them as a people. So that's why I say we. And also, because the people of Nigeria, as we all know, they are too patient, you know, too docile, I would say. So, but I don't know why that is, but that has been the case actually. That has been the case actually because it's like our people just don't know any other thing. Yeah, like, okay, let's just be patient. After all, it's just only 4 years that he has. After that 4 years, that same person again will still perpetrate more evil again and make sure that he retain power again for another 4 years. And by then, he already have more power to buy a lot more, people to his own side. So to me, the patience, the patience of the citizens have been taken for granted. So the impatient citizens actually are what we really need now. Because when you're impatient, there are things that you should do. There are things that occur. There are things that happens. You know, they just happen. You understand? They just happen on their own automatically. So like like you say, impatient citizens possess certain distinctive characteristics that set them apart from others. These traits reflect their inclinations towards quick results and their limited tolerance for delays or inefficiency. Here are some key characteristics that typified an impatient citizen. So we'll talk about that. So, but what I'm here to say is that I'm not trying to instigate the people against their government. But what I'm saying is that we've been doing one thing over the years, and that thing has not been paying off. So we should be impatient. We should be in a hurry to see changes, to see good development. So it's not like we'll be doing the same thing and saying the same, getting the same results. Because at the same time, our people has been seeing this same set of people, and they know what this people normally does. So sometimes they come up with the same strategy or with different strategies every now and then, either by going to the local government, etc., going to the chiefs and the kings and the community dwellers and leaders, you know, buy them cars, buy them things, buy them ram during the celebrations of the Salah celebrations or the Christmas celebrations. They bring them bags of foods and things like that. That is the best you see from them. After that, you don't see them again until another Salah celebration comes up, or another Christmas celebration comes up, or another um, whatever festival comes up. That's when you see them again. Then they come again, throw some money around. And yet, those rules that are supposed to be made or developed, those little, little things, that factory that's supposed to be fixed and restored to give jobs to the youth and things like that, to keep them busy. Those loans, little loans, that are supposed to be given to those low-income earners and those SMEs, and little businesses and stuff like that to thrive, they are not given. So what they do is they come up with all this scheme and they set up some stuff and they said they are giving out, you know, SMEs, some little loans and stuff or grants. But in the real sense, these things are set up for them to benefit themselves because if they give it to 10 people in the local government, then the other 100 people names that are enlisted, even from that local government, they will not benefit from that thing. Rather, they will be paid definitely, but that money will not go to those people's account. Those money will go back to the same politicians who has already come back to that community, try to you know to tell them about the prospect and the advantages of them registering their names, etc. for that same scheme. That is what they've been doing all along, and they do it over and over again. So, but people are so tolerant, even if they know that this guy used to ride on Okada, or was an Okada rider in the community. All of a sudden, ever since he become a member of the so and so political party, then he has changed all of a sudden. Build a big house. In fact, he don't live in the village anymore. Now he now goes to Abuja every now and then. And rumors have it that he already have a house in Abuja, and the house that he used to live in the village, if he doesn't live there anymore, rather he come and set up a mansion in the village, and he will try to drag a traditional title, or the kingship from the original placeholders in that community, simply because he has now had, some friends in the top places, or he has now know some people, or he now have a telephone number of IG or police, and he was the Minister of Defense, and etc. So he can ask, or he can claim that Islam is threatened, and then they will deploy some military force for him to displace whoever he wishes, within the community. So that is the only way they can show their power as soon as they grab some. So, but what I'm saying is that there are things that you must show to also make them very uncomfortable, or to at least make them to think twice before they do anything. Because if you continue to play that ostrich, definitely at the end of the day, then you become a victim of this whole system. So, one of them is restlessness. Impatient citizens often exhibit a sense of restlessness and unease when things do not progress at the desired space. At the desired space, they are easily frustrated by slow processes or bureaucracies and tend to seek immediate resolutions. This is what our people should be doing. At times, they have to ask for results, not just by saying it, or not by you saying it now, in the face of maybe, on television. Then later, then they give you a call and they say, meet me in so and so hotel. And they meet you there and they give you one Ghana must go back and they say, please, can you use that thing to settle your people, which is the people you represent. So all those big mouths in your area, in that community, go and show them up. That's what that thing means. Then the next thing you get, come to the village, then you start to distribute this money around. So as soon as you distribute this money around, before you know, the same people who are criticizing that same person, we start to praise him, even without nothing was done, because maybe they had some promises. But meanwhile, it's not the promises actually that motivates them; it's the money that they want to see. So that is one of them. So another one is time consciousness. Impatient individuals are acutely aware of time and its value. You see that? Time has a value. So time and its value. They prioritize efficiency and expect promptness in all aspects of their lives. They are likely to become frustrated when their time is wasted, or when they perceived a lack of urgency in others. You get what that point is about. So because let's say for example now, we know that in the rainy season, the Nigerian politicians always say one thing. Every year they always say that. If you have a bad road in that community, then if they come there at that very point in time to do their campaign, then they will tell you yes. And now we cannot fix this road even if we want to now. So but as soon as the dry season comes, we will see what we can do. Or sometimes they just promise you blankly that in dry season that they are going to fix that road. That in the next rainy season that things will never be the same. People will no longer swim on that flood anymore. or on the mud. So now you have to, when you have a promise like that, or when you present a case like that to anybody, whether a commissioner or what have you, and they give you that kind of promise, then you have to start early to try to awaken their mindset, you know. So that low tolerance of delays, that impatient citizens have to have in order to push things quickly for the good of the public or for of the people, you know. So you have to keep reminding them and reminding that person or reminding that organization or that body that's responsible for that. You don't have to just wait till the rainy season before you start. No, there have to be commitment on ground. So if there are delays or anything like that, then you will know where they are going. So that's why they said, you know, low tolerance for delays should be there. The impatient citizens have little patience for delays, whether it is in waiting for public services, transportation, or even responses to their inquiries or complaints. They may become very irritated and agitated when confronted with prolonged waiting periods. So if, for example, you are being asked again to wait for another season, another rain season again, then you have to know that if that thing is not fixed, definitely it's you that uses that road. It's you that uses that facility. It's you that is still going to suffer. So if it has to do with maybe water, water purification for the community, for example, it's the same thing. So if it's not done, then it's you who is still going to suffer it. But what I don't understand is that even during the time of the colonial era, etc., you know, I don't think things were this bad, you know. So by that come that our people are now the one colonizing our own people, and yet they become even more wicked than the colonial uh, elements themselves. That's what I don't understand. Because at the end of the day, these people they still go back to the villages where they come from, and some of them even when that's only when they die, that's when they take their corpses to the villages to go and bury. So, but it's a shame that people choose to live like that. So another one is high expectations. Impatient individuals often have high expectations for themselves and others. They anticipate they anticipate quick and efficient outcomes. And when these expectations are not met, they can become easily dissatisfied or disappointed, right? So that is it. So who would it? So because you expect something to happen and that thing did not happen, definitely you become so frustrated, dejected, and what have you. So that's what most of these so-called chiefs or kings in some villages or communities has. That's why most of them has lost their respect because sometimes when these politicians need something, they come there, they bribe them with money. Then these people are able to galvanize their community and tell them, please, I want you to cooperate with me. Let's give our vote to this guy. You know, let's trust him. So if you trust him, you know that this guy have a 4-year period of time, you know, to maintain that position. Then 1 year passed, he didn't do anything. 2 years passed, he didn't do anything. What will you be telling your community or your people? So and yet when it's time again for another election, then they will come again and start to tell you, oh please don't be angry. You know I was so busy doing the other road in so and so area and stuff like that. So yours was on the list, but because of one contractor and this and this and that, so this was so and yet you still give him again. I mean trust him again to give mine. You know that same mandate. That is not encouraging. Simply because you are big giving money. So when they bribe you, then you tend to look the other way again, or they buy you a new car. That's what they normally do. Sometimes they just buy them all these four-wheelers, you know, jeep, distribute them everywhere to all the local government chairmen and their kings and their what have you, and things like that. So where are you going to ride the cars? Inside the mud? So you people should think about your people, think about your community, and not yourselves only. So that is what high expectations and impatient individuals often have. You know. So another one is desire for instant gratification. That is the most dangerous one, I think. That instant gratification, especially, that is what Nigerian politicians normally use because they know that the people don't really care about tomorrow or care about the future or the near future. They just care about the now. So that because a lot of people don't believe in politicians anymore, so when they come to canvass for a vote and things, maybe you see some kings they just take that politician inside and say, oh, "Well, come here, let me see you in private." They tell me, "What do you have for us now?" That's what my people are asking. What do you have for us now? Forget about tomorrow, forget about this thing, because we know that as soon as you get to that seat, you won't even bother, you know, about that community. Even if that guy have good intention and stuff like that, they say, no, 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 we don't believe that because you'll be beaten before. So once beaten, twice shy. So we don't want to be beaten twice, and we don't want to be foolish for anyone. So anything you have now, drop it. So that's the thing that we just saw the problem. You want to vote, drop some this thing. Let us see something. Okay, 20 million. Okay, let me wire you 20 million. No, 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 just make it 50 million. So if I spend that kind of money, canvassing for election or for vote, do you really think that as soon as I get to that same place, that same exalted office, that I'll be thinking about those people that have already settled? I don't think so. Because the first thing you do is to try to recoup all those money. I'm talking about the Nigerian politicians, their psychic, how it works. I'm not talking about me because I'm not a politician. I don't think I will ever be. So that's how it works. So when you invest money into something, what do you expect to get out of it? It's not profit. So, but the problem of Nigerians is that Nigerian politicians is that they just don't expect to make profit. They expect to make triple profits. There is triple percentage of profit. In multiple, you know, and quadruple percentage of profits out of the whole system at the expense of their own people and their community. So that is why the desire for instant gratification is very, 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 very disturbing. You know, because these people who are that kind of gratification, these citizens who wants that immediate gratification and instant result, they prioritize short-term gains over long-term benefits and maybe less inclined to invest time and effort in processes that do not offer immediate rewards. So when you are talking about how we are going to build some bridges and stuff and things like that, drainages, they are not interested in that. They just want the now. We have our own share. And that one I consign them. We have our share, Oga, give us our share, Joe, make you carry your wallet go. You want our vote? Drop some change. That's it. The another one is impulsive decision making. Due to their impatience, these individuals may exhibit a tendency towards impulsive decision making. They may act hastily without fully considering the consequences or weighing all the available options. You know? So the same thing. So it goes with the same, instant gratification, etc. So another one is a demanding nature. Impatient citizens often have a demanding nature. They expect swift responses, actions, and solutions to their problems. They may voice their concerns loudly or persistently until their demands are met. So you don't really care about any other thing that you have to say. First, you take care of all this whole thing that they are actually that their immediate needs. These are their immediate needs. These are the things they need. So every other thing that you're saying is yours for keep. So another one is preference for technology. Impatient individuals often embrace technology enthusiastically as it provides them with instant access to information services and communications. They may rely heavily on digital platforms and applications that offer immediate results and gratification. So you see, we're talking about that instant gratification, you know. So it's important anyway to note that while impatience can sometimes be a driving force for progress and efficiency, excessive impatience can often lead to frustration, unrealistic expectations, and strained relationship. Finding a balance between the desire for quick results and many more of that. So it's understanding that certain processes take time is essential for a healthy and productive mindset of the populace. So impatience can be a very good thing and can be very destructive as well. But in this whole case, what we want is that impatience should be that positive one that brings that force and that motivation, that pushes us to awaken the mindset of our community politicians, especially who are only there for a reason, one reason only, to flex the pulse of every position that they find themselves in. So that's what they are there for. That's only one thing. So what they do, they split themselves around, then they spread the money around, then they share the commonwealth of the people. They don't really care about the community where they are coming from or that they represent, being it from the House of Assembly or the House of Senate or House of Rep or what have you, or even the local council. That's why sometimes when you see these people after some few years when they leave that same seat of power, you start to wonder, is it the same person that used to be so and so with all the sirens and disturbances and stuff? Now you're just walking around like every other normal person. So supposing those roads were tarred, supposing those security were guaranteed, supposing those companies, you know, were actually that he actually uses his influence then, to restore those companies that has been dilapidated or that has been grounded for quite some time. Won't he have been a happy person? Seeing that those things are working out, that people are working dead, that the whole communities, have at least one person from their family, working in that same industry. So that is it. And some of these people, they are pastors, they are imams, they are fast. You go to mosque, you go to church, every now and then they behave holy, in fact, very holy indeed, etc. But yet, they are the most corrupt in the community, and everybody knows them to be so. But nobody even bother to ask them questions because they've already seen them as being outcast. Although they greet them with all decency, like they honor them, they respect them, but at the end of the day, all they do beside them, is to talk all kinds of bullshit about them. So, but what I'm saying is that no position is actually meant to be permanent. So if you find yourself in any position of authority, whether in politics or in the communal level, use it to the best and do the best for your community. Because it's not everyone that may have that kind of opportunity to do that. So if you have the opportunity, use it well. Or you are from the obedient side of the divide in politics, it doesn't really matter. Because at the end, what matters is that these same people sometimes are one when it comes to politics. So some of them are just using the platform that they feel that they need for now to succeed because of the area where they live, because they know the feeling of the people, so they have to go with the feeling of those people. So if, for example, Jagabism, Jagabandit is the one that is most popular there, so they will be fighting for that ticket to actualize their dreams. So if it's the obedience movement that are most popular there, then the same thing. So at the end of the day, you see people becoming a Jagabandit, and after getting that position, then the next thing, then they cross party or they cross carpet to the other side. So how can you be a conservative, then all of a sudden overnight, you become a liberal? Is that done anywhere? so so that is what Nigeria has become. How can you be a socialist, then overnight you become a capitalist? So you can see that these people don't have any direction. So what they are doing, everything that they are doing is for their own pocket. It's not for you. It's not for me. So anything you do, be careful. But we hope that at the end of the day, the best of the best will still come to claim the mandate that belongs to them. So it doesn't matter who is there now, whether it's happening in some state levels or it's happening at the federal level or whatever level. That person that the people voted for, that person is the person that really, really, we actually, who was actually mandated, will be the person that will reclaim his mandate, you know, to rule and to govern. So let's see what that person can do. Because there are differences between what the man that is mandated to do a certain thing and the man that knows actually that he was the one or the people's favorite to do something, knowing that he has so many expectations from the people. Unlike the man who knows that people actually hated him and he fought himself into that position. Definitely that man will want to punish those people and say, after all, he never voted for me anyway. So, but you never know it, but I knew it. So because of that, I'm going to do what I have to do, you know, get all my money back. Then in 1 million votes, etc., or billion votes, then before I even think about you. So that's what has been happening in Nigeria. Because if you actually vote for somebody and that person actually know that you voted for him, that person definitely will do anything, will sacrifice anything to make sure that those things that he promised are done. So that is the way I see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to Niger Matters. And please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. And give us a thumbs up, drop your comments, and help us to share these videos and let it go viral. Thank you. God bless you. See you soon. Bye.